If you knew you had less than 24 hours to live, what would you do? Would you say goodbye to your friends and family? Would you try and check things off your bucket list? Or would you be paralyzed with fear, trying to deal with your own impending doom? There's no good answer. There's no right answer. But you can see what some people decide to do in Adam Silvera's They Both Die at the End. They Both Die at the End is a novel by Adam Silvera, published in 2017 by Harper Teen, an imprint of HarperCollins. Witty and heart-wrenching, even though the title is technically a spoiler, it doesn't make the ending any less heartbreaking. In a world where a company can predict up to 24 hours in advance before you're going to die, and apps that help you connect with people on your final day, we meet Matteo and Rufus, two young men whose lives are tragically going to be cut short when they're contacted by Deathcast, the local company that can make those predictions. We get to see the two boys connect, bond, and grow as they both attempt to live their last day to the fullest. Rufus, who's on the run from the law, and Matteo, who just wants to break out of his shell, may seem like an odd match, but the two of them find their best last friend in each other as they get to spend their final day growing, changing, and learning how to be more true to themselves, even as the timer is counting down. Was it some incredible algorithm pushing them together? Or was it fate? Rufus and Matteo don't know, and it's up for the reader to decide. The novel is primarily in first person, focusing with Rufus and Matteo as our narrators. Occasionally, we do get chapters in third person, with people who are impacting the boys' lives throughout their final day. Throughout the novel, you can really see how the two grow, change, and impact one another for the better. Let's take a look at this first excerpt, where Rufus is reflecting on meeting Matteo for the first time in person.
He smiles at me for the first time, and this is not the face you see on a Decker. You don't need the Countdowners app. You can post everything here. You can create a hashtag or whatever too. But I think you should post your life in color. Let that be how the Plutos remember you. The smile goes away because that's the nature of today. Forget it. That's stupid. It's not stupid, I say. I actually really like this. The Plutos can revisit the times I lived with them in black and white, like a cooler history book. And my end day will have its own unfiltered contrast. Can you take a pic of me sitting here? In case it's my last post. I want everyone to see me alive. Matteo smiles again, like he's the one posing for the photo.
Now, let's compare that excerpt to a later one, from Matteo's point of view.
You good? Rufus asks. Nervous and excited. Mainly nervous. Regret making me jump off a cliff yet? Do you regret jumping? No. Then no. Are you gonna have fun in there? No pressure, I say. There's a difference between jumping off a cliff and having fun. Once you jump off a cliff, there's no undoing it. There's no stopping midair. But having the kind of fun that seems daring and embarrassing in front of strangers requires a special bravery. There's no pressure, Rufus says. Just our last few hours left on this planet to die without any regrets. Again, no pressure. No regrets. He's right.
With distinct inner voices and genuine growth, our two leads drive the plot forward with their hopes, failings, and dreams. This book belongs in the Own Voices category because Adam Silvera, the author, is Puerto Rican and openly gay. Both of our protagonists also are people of color, with Matteo being Puerto Rican and Rufus being Cuban American, and both of them are part of the LGBTQ community as well, with Matteo later identifying as gay in the novel and Rufus openly being bisexual. As someone who's part of the LGBTQ community myself, it was really nice to see a book that has those elements in the novel, but isn't the main focal point. There's so many times where stories about us are often usually used as the focal point of our sexuality or our gender identity, so the fact that these two boys just got to be who they were without having all that stuff get tangled up in the issues of the novel was honestly very refreshing. In addition to handling the topic of death, the novel also covers issues like mental health and stuff that has to do with family, like growing up in a foster home, growing up in a single-parent home, or even young parents who have to handle their small children. If you like books like Aristotle and Dante discover the secrets of the universe, and musicals like Dear Evan Hansen, this is obviously a book for you. All three cover the same type of topics, have similar character types, and in the end, have very similar ending messages. This novel is really relevant to young adults because it manages to capture that same feeling that so many seem to tell me that they feel. There's this constant timer ticking down, as if they have so much external pressure trying to figure out who they are, how much time they have left, and what they're going to do with it. In addition to global problems like politics, the economy, and the environment, young adults still need to deal with the fact that they have to figure out who they are, what they're going to be, and how they're going to get there, without even really knowing when their time is going to be up. That can be a tremendous amount of pressure for them, especially since they don't have some company that's going to let them know when they have 24 hours left. Even though this novel may seem like it has a really depressing message, it's actually quite hopeful, because in the end, Rufus and Mateo live their lives to the fullest. Throughout the novel, the two of them get to spend time with people that they care about, get to reflect on what they want to do, what they could still do, and that's very important for today's young adult readers. It's important to cherish the time that you have with the people that you love, whether it's friends, found family, blood family, or a partner. More importantly, it's important that you take time to spend with yourself, that you cherish the time that you have with yourself, because in the end, all you've really got is you. You really need to make sure that you're putting your best foot forward for yourself, because you never know when your time is going to be up. Adam Silvera's We Both Die at the End is a novel about hope. It's about how you have to face adversity head on, no matter how challenging it may be. And while you may not be able to overcome it, it's important to put your best foot forward anyways, because in the end, that's the only shot that you get. And sometimes really beautiful things can come from it. Check this book out at your local library, or wherever books are sold.